Welcome back to another edition of Tax Pro Talk, or
Hashtag TPT.
We've been on the road, we've been visiting with a lot of customers, and we have a lot to catch up on. But today we're talking detail about
employer benefit review with your 1040 clients when you do those withholding checkups.
Alrighty, Jim, so as we get going and we talk about these engagements we're having with our clients, and especially with employer benefit review, it's what we learned from Tax Pros is kind of hard where to kickstart these engagements. And one big thing is talk to your clients about their goals, whether it be their career, their family, their education. Do they want to live in the same place? Do they want to move? I think that's a great way to kickstart these engagements with your clients, is really understand more about them and the goals they have moving forward.
Yeah, that's a great place to start. Make sure you document that. Document both the qualitative things as well as the financial goals in terms of paying down debt, saving money, retirement, college education, all those things. Make sure you document that. That's a great place to start with the goals.
Yep.
Then as you're doing that, withholding checkup, an employer benefit review, you can walk through different segments of that paycheck or that taxpayer and spouse's jobs. Make sure they're maximizing the benefits from their employers. Let's start with wealth.
Yep, the first one being 401k matching.
Absolutely.
Is that an option?
Yeah. Are they taking advantage of any matching things that are available? Sometimes you see those 401k deductions coming through, sometimes you don't. You should always be asking what types of savings plans are available and max those out in terms of the match before we start talking about IRAs. HSAs are another one you're going to want to ask, are they taking advantage of those?
Yep, and that leads more into the wellness side of things. That's a big one around flex spending.
Right.
Is another one as well. And then even just overall health insurance.
Yeah.
Are you taking advantage of that?
Yeah. Flex spending, if you want to ask them questions like, do they plan to have any optional surgeries coming up? Do they have braces in the near future? Other things that are kind of elective, and see if there are opportunities to use flex spending accounts or pre-tax dollars and basically avoid tax coming into their paycheck.
Yeah, and another one, Jim, too, that I see is around life insurance. It seems like we're always having that conversation, and we got kids at home, right? We want to make sure family's taken care of if something does happen. So is there any big benefits there or any big engagements we should have around
you should,
life insurance?
As a financial advisor, as their tax professional, you should be asking those questions. Do they have enough insurance to cover, especially young and growing families, and making sure that there's enough coverage there, and then what's actually provided from the employer, and document that, as well as what they have outside the employer as personal life insurance.
Yep. And another big bucket too, that's kind of fitting the wellness, we've gone over wealth, is around expenses. So as we talk about that stuff, is there dependent care, adoption options, and that's tuition reimbursement. I know there's a lot of things to think about during expenses.
Absolutely. Too often we as tax pros learn about these things after the fact. You learn that somebody adopted a child. You want to be in front of that. You want to be asking those questions. Hey, what are your long-term goals? Do you plan to do any adoptions? Dependent care, that's a big one. If you've got one spouse that can flex their work schedule, maybe they don't have to spend as much on dependent expenses. Those can be really expensive. You can help minimize some of those dependent care expenses in those conversations. And then if they do have those, see if you can maximize each employer's paycheck withdrawal, because usually you're going to come out a little bit better if it comes through the paycheck rather than taking the dependent credit on the 1040. So asking those questions and seeing if you can move some of those expenses from after tax to pre-tax is always a great planning opportunity. And then for their own education, think tuition reimbursement, and tuition reimbursement is now moved down even into some of the grade school level stuff, so it's not just higher education now. So you definitely want to ask those questions about potential education reimbursements.
Yep, definitely a lot to think about. And we just went through 3 quick buckets of information, but this really boils down to have those conversations with your clients, really engage with them. And it makes me think back to, Jim, my time, I just went to Scaling New Heights, one of the shows we went to, talked a lot about AI and machine learning, but it doesn't replace what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
And having those personal conversations and learning more about your clients
Right.
that lead into deeper engagement and helping them plan for tax situations moving forward.
Absolutely. So don't wait on tax reform. Yes, there's still a lot of ambiguity, but there are a lot of things that you can do. And again, this is a year with tax reform that you want to reframe your relationship with your clients. So take advantage of those withholding checkups with your 1040 clients and ask a lot of questions. Do those employer review checkups.
Yep. And that's going to do it for this episode of Tax Pro Talk or
Hashtag TPT.
See you guys next time.